I've been good. I felt ill actually after a Zoom call. However, I got
Oh,
back to myself on Wednesday, but
oh,
I'm better now.
okay. Are you feeling better now?
Yes, yes, I'm back to normal now.
Excellent. Okay. Right. We're gonna then let's get straight into it because it's already like 2:07 in the afternoon, and
Yeah,
I'm now screen sharing with you. Can you see the Padlet?
yeah,
Uh,
yes,
you can.
yeah.
Fantastic. Obviously, last week was
Mm-hmm.
our first tutoring session, and
Yes.
we focused on just looking at division
Mm-hmm.
in terms of how you coped with some maths and some problem solving. And I know you identified that this has been a problem before, and then you did some quizzes online, and
Mm-hmm.
then I believe here you actually put in a screenshot of the quiz that you did on my maths, which is
Yes.
fantastic. So you've got one, two, three, four correct out of 9 questions.
Yes.
And I think you did the slightly more difficult division questions. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so when you went through the feedback, every time you clicked an incorrect
Yeah.
answer, and then they gave you some guidance as to
Yeah.
why it was incorrect. Um, what kind of messages were you picking up from the feedback?
It was just slight errors in my calculations, which led me to maybe a point, not a point, but a
Yeah.
digit off my answer and etc.
Okay.
Those were my main problems. Yes.
Okay. Did you have any problem reading and understanding the questions?
Not necessarily. I think it was mainly based within my calculations, which led me to the wrong answer. I mean, I should have really gotten over 60% this time, but
Okay. Okay. Well, that is well. I think you did really well there. So well done for trying that. I think the maths is fun is really good for doing homework on any maths that we may cover in our sessions. So I'm going to make a note of the maths that maybe you struggle with, so that I can give you some homework links at the end of the session. So we've
sure.
got about an hour for us to do this, and obviously you basically learn how to do basic division from the first session, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. And what I thought we could do today is go through some some of the easier questions on a paper one non-calculator paper.
Okay,
And I've
sure.
selected the November 2018 foundation paper. Let me just put foundation there. I've attached the paper to the post, and there's
Yeah.
also a mark scheme that there's a link to the mark scheme as well. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each question. We're going to have a discussion about the instructions, about what's required, and I've got my flip chart open on Active Inspire. So it's almost like using a Promethean board in a classroom. So we'll
Okay.
be able to have that showing. So then you'll be able to explain things, and I can explain things, and then hopefully it's all going to lead you to having a better understanding of what the question is asking you to do, what maths do you need, what problem solving skills are necessary to them to then solve the problem, and hopefully you'll get to the correct answer. We'll also have a little look at the mark scheme as well, because the mark scheme will also give us some valuable information
Mm-hmm.
to help us with all of this
Great.
work that we need to do. Okay, then, right. So let me just go through.
I'm
Right,
actually really
okay.
excited for this now. I really want to go on paper with you.
Excellent. Well done. Okay, fantastic. Okay, I'm going to do another screen share with you now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I've done is I've taken the papers directly from the AQA website. So this is exactly the kind of paper that students would have had 2 years ago when they
Yes.
actually did their November resit. So this is a November resit paper, but the
Mm-hmm.
papers are very much the same level, obviously, for June and November. Okay. I'm not sure whether I asked you to do this for your diagnostic. I can't remember, but never mind. We're going to go through this now. So I've got the actual paper here, starting from question 1, and then there is the mark scheme. So I'm going to be going between 2 screens. Okay. So first of all, and then also, I've also got my Active Inspire board as well. Can you see my Active Inspire board?
Yes, yes, I can.
See that? Okay. So what we can do together is we can do some work on the board if we need to use it wherever you get stuck. Okay. Fabulous. Amazing. Okay then. So let's go back to the PDF. Right. So here we are. We're going to be looking here at negative numbers now. So work out -3 plus -8. So what I'd like you to do then, Camberg, is have you got a notepad and paper in front of you?
Yes, I do.
You have. Okay. Can you work that out, please, and decide what is the answer?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, it is -11 because, you know, 8 plus 3 is 11. So because that's in the minus, I'll know it's -11.
Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. How did you find that?
Just because in positive numbers, I'm able to figure out that 8 plus 3 is 11. So all I need to do really there was to put the minus in front.
Excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. Well done. Okay. So basically plus and a minus, plus and a minus will then become a minus, then 11 minus 3 and then -8. You're going to be adding on 8 in a negative direction. So then therefore it's -11. Fantastic. Well done. Now keep making notes as we go along. All right. Now, number 2, what does the longest bar in a bar chart represent? Circle your answer. Mean, median, mode, and range. Okay. Now just give me a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Jambek. So what is your answer, please?
Well, I know median is to find the middle number. Range is you add them all up and then divide it. I think I forgot what, I think maybe mode. This is just a guess because I forgot what mode meant.
Yeah. Okay. So now the mark scheme is saying mode. Okay. So let's go through each of them. Okay. So for example, a mean, when you look at mean, that is the average.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So if there are 10 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Which number is the most occurring?
That's right. You add the 10 numbers up and then you divide, and then you then have to divide by the number. Okay. So for example, so 1, 2, 3. So for example, 1, 2, and 3, you've got 1, 2, 3 digits. Okay. So you've got 3 digits. And what you have to do is you have to add the numbers up. And that will give you a total of 6. And then the formula for doing the mean or an average is divide the total by the number of items. And that should give you 2. So the mean or the average is going to be 2. Okay, fantastic. Now, median. If I said to you, what is the median number in a range of numbers? What does that mean to you?
So what you do, we put them from smallest to largest, and then you start crossing one from each end out until you get into the middle, and then you see which number is in the middle. That's the
Yeah,
middle.
well done. So, for example, 14923. So,
Yes.
what's the first number then, Jamberg?
First number is going to be -11.
No, no, no. Are you?
And
Hold on, hold on. We're talking about what we're talking about here is we're talking about median.
yes.
So your explanation was actually correct with regards to the median, but I don't know whether there's been some confusion there. So, for example, you said that you have to put the numbers in the correct ascending order. So 14923 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh,
and
sorry, I
9.
thought you were talking about the numbers up top. I thought we were talking about the numbers up top. That's
No,
why.
no, no. We're talking about these numbers here.
Okay.
Okay. So
Oh,
if
I see no numbers. I see no numbers there. There are no numbers in front of me right now.
you can't see the numbers.
Hmm.
You sure? Okay. Let
Yes.
me just.
Sorry about that.
Okay. No, it's absolutely fine. Let me just see what's happened. Okay. Right. Can you see the numbers now?
Yes, yes. Now I can. Now I can.
Okay. Right. So can you see now where I have highlighted
Mm-hmm.
14923?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, as you correctly said, you said what you have to do with the median is you have to put the numbers in the correct order. So 14923 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 in ascending order. And then
Yes.
the middle number is always the median.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what happens if, say, for example, you've got an even number of numbers? Say if I put number 5 at the end.
Yes.
So what
It
do we
would.
have to do there?
It would. I think it was. You would -3 from 4, if I'm not incorrect, or would it be both of them? Yeah, it would be both of them, wouldn't it? Both would be the
Yes.
answer.
So what you have to do is you have to find the average or the mean between of 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be 7 divided by 2 is going to be 3.5. Now
Okay.
that's going to be your raw median score. However, the question might say, can you make sure it's a rounded number? So with 3.5, if it said to round it up, would it be a 3 or would it be a 4?
It would be a 4 because 3.5, 5 would be over the smallest number, so it would
Yeah.
have to round up to 4.
Well done. Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, now, can you see the exam screen again or not?
No.
Okay, all right. What it,
I'm not-
that's okay. What I'm gonna have to do, Jamberg, is I'm just gonna have to keep coming in and out of share. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. Okay. Now, mode is the most frequently used number. So say, for
Okay.
example, say for example, this was a bar chart of shoe sizes in a class. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what a bar chart looks like. You've got a bar coming from the bottom. Okay. So if there are more, say, children who've got size 5 shoe sizes, then basically they will have the longest bar. Okay. And then the rest there might be a few with 6 feet, size 6 feet, some with size 4 feet, but the longest bar will represent the actual quantity, the largest quantity of those who have that particular size. Okay.
Yes.
And range is going to be the largest number, take away
The biggest number.
absolutely. Okay. And then what you have to do there again is you still have to put them in order, ascending order from lowest to highest. And then you work out which is the lowest number and then the highest number. Okay. And that's going to be your range. Fantastic. Now, can you now work out 1.1 take away 0.15?
Yes.
Can you then circle your answer, Jamberg?
Sure. Is it 0.95?
Okay, then let's have a look. 0.95. Okay.
Yes.
So what we're going to do then is I'm going to just quickly copy down the question.
Okay.
Mine 1.1 take away 0.15. I'm going to come out of the share here, and then I'm going to share with you my board,
Sure.
and then we're going to then try to work it out together. Okay, then. Right.
Okay.
So we've now got one. So you've got
0.1.
1.1 take away 0.15. Okay.
Yes.
So Jamba, can you explain to me how you got the answer as 0.95? How'd you do that?
So there, I was looking at the bottom given answers for me, so the answers I could choose from,
Mm,
and then I saw two which I thought were the most relevant answers, 0.85 and 0.95. So
yeah.
what I had done there was firstly I chose 0.85, which then I added 0.85 plus 1.15, which had given me, I think, something over 1.1. So I think it was like 1.2, 1.2 something.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I found out that was incorrect, I went back and had done a 0.95, add 1.15, had given me my answer 1.1, which I had chosen that to be my answer.
Okay then. Okay. So you got 0.95. Yeah.
Yes.
Well done. Okay. Fantastic. And basically, what you can also do as well is, I don't know
Mhm.
whether you considered using the column method.
No.
Okay. So for example, we got the place value here. Okay.
Yes.
But
Yes.
that z 1.1 is also 1.10,
Yes.
and that's going to be useful because we've got to tackle a 0.15. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, if we are to use the column method, we have to start with the first one. Now, let me use a different color. So essentially, 5 take away 0 you can't do.
Yes.
So what you have to do is then you have to take 1 away from the 1. Okay, that becomes 0 or 10, and then
Yes.
the 1 is added to there. Now 5 take away 10 gives you
5.
5. Excellent. Okay, and it's almost like if you take out the place value, it's the same as saying what's 1 take away 10.
Yeah.
It's going to give you 9. Okay,
Yes.
and then this is 0, so 0 take away 0 is always going to be 0. Okay,
Mhm.
and that's one way of doing it. You could even, you got the 10 here, you got the 10th here
Yeah.
in the 0.1. You
Yes.
could take the 10th away from the 1. That gives you 1.0,
Mhm.
and then you can then take the 100th, the 500th away
Mhm.
from here. Now, taking 500 away is like taking 5 away from 100.
Mhm.
And can you see the 100 there? 1.00.
Yes. Yes. I
But
can.
you can take the point 0.05 away from 1.00 to then give you 0.95.
Okay. Okay.
Okay? So there's a
Okay.
couple of other methods there that might help you, Jamberg.
Okay. Thank you.
Fantastic. Excellent. Okay, then, my friend, let's move on to the next question. So now, look at that. That's brilliant. You've already got 3 marks, 3 out of 3. Okay. And that's really good for building up your confidence and resilience. Right. Now we're coming on to some terminology, okay, to do with maths. So on a circle, which of these is always longer than the diameter? Okay, the chord, the arc, the radius, or the circumference. So have a little think about that, and then we'll then go to the answer.
Sure. So for this question, I don't know what chord. I know what the arc is, but I don't know what the chord is. However, I
Yeah.
know the radius wouldn't be the answer as it's only half of the of the circle. So I would say circumference because the circumference talks about the whole of the inner circle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, then. Right. Now, what I'm going to do here is say, for example, under normal circumstances, if a student didn't understand what something was, a property, I would
Yes.
always try to use Google images. Okay.
Okay.
So, for example, if I put chord of a circle and then click images, okay. Now, can you see the chord? The chord
Not
is
right now.
almost like a little segment. It's taking a segment away. The chord is the line that creates a segment. So it's
I
like
can't.
a little piece of it is taken away.
I
And
can't see it on your screen at the moment.
okay, okay, Jumper, no problem.
I
Let me
can see it
just
myself really quickly.
yeah, it's okay, no problem, my friend. Let me just ah, you know, with Zoom, you can't switch screens. You have to come out the share. Can you see it now?
Yes, yes, I can. I can.
Okay, right. Now, can you look at this diagram in the middle? The chord,
Mhm.
the diameter, and the radius.
Yeah.
So it's almost like well, obviously the diameter is the line that goes from one end of the circumference, which is the
Mhm.
outer thing, to the other, and it always cuts through the middle. The radius is the halfway point between, you know, within a diameter. The chord is almost like a parallel line. It's a parallel line that goes above the diameter. Okay,
Okay.
and that chord creates a, you know, it creates a segment of the circle. Okay, so
Mhm.
I'm just going to now go back to the question. And so, which is always longer than the diameter? And then the answer is the circumference. So the
Mhm.
circumference is always the the actual um, the actual perimeter of the circle, the border of the circle. Okay. And do you know what the formula is to work out the circumference of a
Yes.
circle?
Yes. It was uh, radius times pi. Wait, so circumference to calculate circumference. I think it was diameter diameter times pi. If I'm
Okay,
not wrong.
right. So if I put C for circumference, so circumference is going to be your circle like this,
Yeah.
okay? All right. So it can either be pi
Yeah.
times diameter,
Diameter. Yes.
or circumference is
Yes.
going to be pi
Yes.
times 2r, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you've got the
Yeah.
radius times 2 times the pi. Now, the
Yes.
pi, some people say it's actually 3.14, but
Mm-hmm.
actually the raw figure is 3.142. Now, that is a these are very useful numbers to learn when you're talking about formulas, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is something they may ask you to do, Jamberg, so that's just for you to be aware of in terms of
Okay.
how to work out the circumference, the actual length of the border. Okay, my friend, right. Can you see the exam paper now?
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, my friend. Now, can you now this is worth 3 marks. This is now asking you to multiply 83 by 26. So can you work that out, please?
Sure. 1 second. Is it 2158?
Yes, well done, my friend. So I'm going to now come out of the screen share, go back into the Promethean. Can you
Yes.
explain to me how? Okay, so let me just write this down. So how did you get the answer? So it was 83 multiplied by 26. So how
Yes.
did you do that then, Jamberg?
I did the times table method. I did 6 times 3,
Yeah,
which 18. So I wrote 8 and carried the 1.
yeah,
And then I did 6 times 8, which gave me 48. So that would give me 49 in total.
okay,
And then after that, I had added an extra 0 because when we go down, we
yeah,
have that
yeah,
extra 0, yes.
yeah,
So then 2 times 3, which gave me 6.
yeah.
And then 2 times 8, which gives me 16. And then I added them, those totals together, 498 plus 1660, which gave
Okay,
me
yeah,
100.
okay. Very good. So did you that's quite interesting. There are a few other methods I want to just introduce to you. Have you covered the column method?
Column method. Yes, sorry, I did the column method. I
Is
did the
that
column.
what you used?
Yeah, yes, that's
Yeah,
what I
okay.
used.
Brilliant. Okay. So basically, basically, 6 times 3 and then 6 times
Yeah.
8 and then you carried the 1 over the 1 over to
Mhm.
make it 49 and then you then added the 0 and then you did the 2 times 3 and 2 times 8. Fantastic. Have you also come across the lattice method?
Could you show me real quick, please?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So I'll just try and draw. It's not a very good diagram actually. um,
No.
I may have to get like you can get like a graphic
Oh,
template.
yeah.
You can
Yes.
draw it a lot more neatly. But basically, a lattice is like these strips.
Oh, never seen
Okay. Now they tend to. I mean, this method is nice because it
it.
just
Oh,
helps to
yes.
break everything down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
And
I
so
remember.
what you do then, I mean, it just helps to kind of focus on one thing at a time.
Mhm.
And so what you have to do is say, right, okay, let's start with the first square here. Okay, let's just change the color. So 2 times 8 is 16. So you
Yes.
put the 1 there, you put the 6 here. 2 times 3 is 6. That's going to be 0, 6. And then 8 times 6 is going to be 48, 4, 8. And then you got 6 times 3 is going to be 18, 1 and 8. Now, can you see now you've got this lattice,
Yes.
okay? And what you have to do there is you have to now add the numbers in that direction, okay? So
Mhm.
for example, 8 add 0 is what?
0.
Okay?
Sorry, 8.
Yeah,
8.
so 8, yeah? And then 8 add 6 is,
Is 14.
add the 1,
15.
5 and carry the 1, okay? So 1 add 4 is 5. 5 add 6 is
11.
11. 1, carry the 1. 1 add 1 is
12.
1 add 1 is 12.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, 2.
2, right. So now you got the answer 2158. Okay?
Oh,
So that is the other variation to that is you could also use what we call, I mean, that is the lattice method. The grid method, okay, is a bit different because you have to put the 10 because 8 is at 80, the 8-bit is 80 and the 2-bit is 20, and then you then have to multiply those two together. But then you then leave, then what you then do is then you then have to then put the information in the boxes and then add them up that way, rows and columns, and you should be able to get to the same number in that direction. So do you want to stay with your preferred method for doing it,
yes,
or you're
that's
quite
much.
happy with the column method?
Yes, because
Yeah.
this one, I find it a bit more confusing just because for me, everything's separate apart here, everything's
Yeah,
just in one place.
fantastic. just make sure you superimpose little lines like this, so then you can work with the units, okay? And then you can work with the 10. And just make sure you're separating them off. You're not getting confused. And then we'll take it from there. Fantastic. Any questions so far then, Jamberg? Right, right, young man. Now, look at that there. Isn't that amazing, right? You've now added 3 marks. That's fantastic for a foundation level paper. So you've now added 3 to the 3. You now got 6 out of 6, okay? So you're doing really well. Just make sure that this section here, you're using the lines for the workings, but you must put the answer where it says answer, okay? That's really important. Okay, now we're getting a little bit more on the problem solving now. So the cost of 3 calendars is £18. Work out the cost of 5 calendars. So what do you think that might be?
So I'll divide 18 by 3, and then I'll get my answer for one calendar.
Okay. It's asking, the question is 2-mark question. Work out the cost of 5 calendars.
Okay. It is, I believe, £30.
Okay, let's check the answer. Yeah, fantastic. Really good. Well done. So, can you now explain to me how you got to 30 with that question?
So I had 18 divided by 3, which gives me 6. And then I had done 6 times 5, which gives me 30.
So you worked out the value of 1.
1, yes. And then I had.
And then you multiplied by the 5.
Yes.
To get 30. Excellent. Okay. So you use the manual method. Okay. Can I just show you another method? And again, Jamberg, obviously I want to show you as many methods as I can, but again, it's your choice, whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay. Now, have you heard of the Singapore bar method?
No.
Okay. Okay. It's basically bar modeling, and it's very popular with a lot of primary schools use this method, but also it can be really quite powerful to use with post-16 learners as well. And so, for example, you've got if I used a bar, okay, that bar represented a total of £18. Yes. Because £18 is the cost of 3 calendars. Yes. Okay, so basically £18 represent 100%, the whole bar. But then that £18 has got to be split between 3. Yes. And then basically the same thing, you still have to do a calculation of trying to find the value. Once you try to find the value of 1 bar, that will then slowly unlock the value of the others. Okay? Now, to work out the value of 1, like I did before, 18 divided by 3 gives you 6.
Yes.
And then what you then have to do is you have to put 6 in the bar. 6, 6, and 6. Okay? Now, that way then, that in terms of a reverse check, 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. Okay. However, the question is asking for 5. So what you do is you extend the bar.
Oh.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to write in a 6 and a 6 and a 6. Now, Jamberg, I think you know the answer to this. What is the value of each of the remaining 2 parts of that bar?
12.
Yes. So you got 12 divided by 2, okay? Now you can do 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, or you can do 5 times 6. That will also give you 30. Okay? So either method would be acceptable as long as you can show some workings out. So what do you think of that method?
I think it's a smart method, but within the exam, I think it'd be very time consuming.
Yeah.
In comparison to the normal method.
No problem at all. That's absolutely fine. So what, whatever you feel comfortable with. Now you've added an extra 2 marks there, which is fantastic. Well done. Okay. Right. Now, as you can see now, as as the usual pattern with AQA, well, with all GCSE exam papers, the questions get a little bit more challenging. There's more information to grapple with. There's more calculations that you have to do, and it gets a bit more complex. Okay. So a helicopter blade does 3,206 full turns in 7 minutes. Okay. So just imagine what a turn looks like. It's going to be the actual blades going all the way around, almost like a 360-degree rotation. Now work out the number of full turns per minute. Okay? So I want you to have a little think about that and come up with an answer.
Okay.
And I'm really keen to know what your methodology is. What is the method that you're using?
This may take a bit more while. Could we go back to the question?
Yeah, the question is, the helicopter blade does 3,206 full turns in 7 minutes. Okay? So can you work out the number of full turns per minute? So what you have to do?
So if it's that much in 7 minutes, would I have to divide the total number of spins by 7 to find 1 minute?
Okay, go for that. See what you come up with.
Okay, so this is where the division comes in handy. Sorry, I'm taking a while right now.
Okay. So have you got the answer now, Jamberg?
Just a bit more, sorry.
That's okay. Carry on. No worries.
Is it 4,091?
Are you saying 4,091? All right, because you're giving me 3 digits there. Do you mean 491?
4,091.
4,091. Okay, right. Let's just quickly have a look at this. Okay, just 1 second. Let me just come out of the share, and then I'm going to now show you the video. Okay. Oops, that hasn't worked. There we go. Okay, can you now see the screen now?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. Fantastic. Okay, so the question is saying the helicopter does 3,206 turns. Okay, full turns. The blades go all the way around, and that happens in 7 minutes. Okay, now you gave an answer of 4. You given 3 digits. Okay. Now you're saying that this represents, first of all, I just want to question what you've just said there. You're saying to me that, oh, what's happened there? Right, so, and my question, first of all, is you've represented that number as 4,091. Did you mean 491?
No.
Right, because if I was to exactly repeat what you said, 4,091 would look like this.
Yes.
So you said 4,091, but you said 491. So just to clarify, 4,091, like this is the 1,000, this is the 100, 10, and then this is the unit. Okay.
What did I say? So I said
You
491.
You said 4,091, but then you gave only 3 digits, 491. So my question was, did you mean 491?
Oh no, sorry, I forgot the 100th unit, which is 0.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So basically, are you okay with the unit value? So 100, tens, and units. Yeah. Okay. Right. Now you said 491. Okay. Now the mark scheme is saying 458.
Oh.
Okay. Can you first of all explain to me, just to, I want to know exactly what you've done to get 491, so I'm really clear about it. Then we can then work on exactly where there has been the little sort of misstep. So how do you get 491 when the question's asking you to divide 3,206 divided by 7? So how do you get 491?
So what I had done is I had drawn myself a little bus stop method, yes.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I had put the 7 there, put my numbers inside.
Okay, so you put the divisor 7 on the outside, and you put the quotient. Oh, sorry. Wake up! Come on, wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Right. So 3, 2, 0, 6. So you put the quotient in there. Okay. So what happened next then?
You forgot the 7 at the end. 7 after 6. Yeah, you forgot to put the 7. Was there another 7 in the question?
So did you put the? You mean like this?
No, I had put a 7. It was not 67 at the end.
No, the question is 3,206.
I think I did an extra digit into the question.
Why did you do that?
I'm not sure. I think I may have miscopied the question.
Okay, right. So the first thing is you must read the question, okay, carefully. Now, what I would do is, let me just, I'm just going to, yeah, I think it may well be worth me just quickly coming out of this share and getting a document that's actually going to help you with this question, okay? So just bear with me, because I was using this with a group of teachers and it was really helpful actually. So, and it's basically, it's a graphic organizer that helps you to organize your thoughts together. What we don't want you to do is to make those mistakes. That's going to lose you value, because there you see, get 0 marks, okay? And we don't want that. We want you to get the maximum marks, okay? So let me just see how I can, oh, I know where it is, sorry. It's under downloads. So under downloads, math organizers, step by step. Okay, right. So, okay, can you see this graphic organizer in front of you?
Yes.
Okay, all right, lovely. Let me just try and get it to size. Okay, basically, this allows you to do everything step by step by step, okay? And I will send this to you because I think it might help you to do some of these types of questions. Now, on the problem here, can you see the word problem?
Yes.
The problem here is you have to understand that you've got to divide. You want to work out the value of the number of turns for 1 minute. And then on the left-hand side, you must, under maths formulae and notes, here you've got to write 3206 turns in 7 minutes. Okay. So you make your notes. You must be able to make notes from the question. So then you then got the correct figures to play around with. And then you got these little stepped cards, basically, for you to be able to write down the step-by-step process. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can do that on this board here. Okay? Okay. So first of all, the first step is we have to identify the actual problem. The problem is they want you to divide 3,206, okay, by 7, which will give you the number of turns, okay? Okay. For 1 minute. That's the problem they want you to solve, okay? And you know, on the left-hand side, yes, where it says make some notes, you've still got to write down in the question that I've got to work with 3206, but you were working with 32067. Yeah. So that is a fundamental problem there, because the question, because what you're doing is you're essentially confusing the 7. You're confusing the divisor, the number that needs to be used to divide the quotient. The quotient is the big number that needs to be divided, okay? So this is where you went wrong, okay? So now, carry on. Yes, go on.
I wasn't using the 7. I wasn't using the dividing number there. I think I just added on an extra number because I thought I had seen an extra number. So the 7, I didn't put the dividing number there on purpose. It was,
okay.
It was
it's absolutely fine. But I think the question, the point is that you've got to read the question carefully. Yes. You've also got to be able to use the correct numbers in the correct way. Yes. Now, as we both understand that if, for example, for 7 turns, and I'll show you 2 ways to do this, okay? We'll use the classic method using, now again, you can use bus shelter. We'll use bus shelter, and then we'll use long division, and then we'll use bar modeling, okay? Okay. Now, first of all, with the bus shelter method, okay, let me just try a different color. Okay, so basically, you're dividing you can't divide 7 into 3. That's going to give you 0. Oh, sorry, let me just choose a different color. Okay, so that's going to give you 0. Okay, but you can divide 7 into 32.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you look at the when you look at the times table, which number is the maximum you can go with a multiple of 7? You got 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. So which number is the nearest to 32 without going over?
I think it's 7 times 4.
Yeah, fantastic. Because 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 3 is 21. Okay. Now, your times table is going to have to be absolutely accurate. Okay.
Yes.
So 28. But if you go beyond 28, that's 35. It's too much. We can't do that. We'll work with this though. 28. Okay. So now we've got, oh, sorry. Let me explain long division, then I'll then show the bus shelter method. Okay. Now, what you have to do now, you have to take the 28 away from 32. So what would that answer be then? What's 28 take away 32? What are you left with?
4.
Yeah, well done. Okay. Then you have to drop the 0 and the 4 becomes 40.
Yes.
Now, extend the times table, okay, for the 7s. Have it showing up. So now, which number is the maximum you can go? Okay. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, even though you've got a remainder of 4, 7 goes into 32 4 times. So you put the 4 there. Okay, fantastic. Now, how many times does 7 go into 40? Once, twice, 3, 4, or 5 times? Or 6 times? Remember, your target is 40.
It is 5. It is 5.
Which one?
35.
Excellent. Okay, you can't do 42. It's too much.
Yes, it goes
So,
over.
so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
So therefore, 7 goes into 35 5 times.
Yes.
Then what you then do, then what I like to do is put a multiply here, multiply the 7 by the number 5, you get 35. So what's 35 take away 40?
5.
Yeah, brilliant. Now drop down the 6. 5 becomes 56.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's continue our times table on the 7s because you've got 42, 49, and then you got 56, believe it or not. Okay, that's interesting. So how many times does 7 go into 56? How many times?
6.
Right, if it was 6, it'd be 42. But you've got a long way to go from 42 to 56. 59, or is it 56?
It's 8.
Right, why is it 8? That's correct, but why is it 8?
Because 7 times 8 equals 56.
Excellent. Well done, Jamberg. Right, now, because we follow the natural progression with the 7 times table, 7s go 7, 1 times 7 is 7, 2 times is 14, 3, 21, 4, 28, 5, 35, 6, 42, 7, 49, and 8 times 7 is 56. So 7s go 56 8 times, and then you multiply again to then try to get a remainder, but the remainder is 0. So it stops there, okay? So your answer then is 4, 5, 8.
Yes.
Now, okay, now if you were to use, now I know in primary schools, they're a big fan of bus shelter because it's a concept that young children will identify with, but we're going to see how it is. So basically, the people, you got one person waiting outside the bus shelter, normally me, and then everybody else is inside the bus shelter. And if I show you a different color pen, okay, basically what that shows here is you then have to follow the same method. Oops, sorry. Oh, what's happened? I'm not sure what happened there, actually. Oh, just give me a second. I don't. Oh. Oh, let me just try. Let me just try a different flip chart.
No worries.
Okay, right. Where are we? Right, 7. Sometimes this computer really plays up. Okay, fantastic. Okay, right. Now I want to change the color. Okay, so is that going to work? I think it's going to work. What? Yeah. Okay, right. Now 7 into 3, 0. 7 into 32, it goes how many times? It goes 4 times. Okay, and then you have to take away. Then multiply 7 by 4. That gives you 28. 28 take away 32 gives you a remainder of 4. You put the 4 here. 7 into 40 give you 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. 35 take away 40 will then give you a remainder of 5. So then you got 56. 8 times goes there, and that's the bus shelter method. Okay then. Right then. Now let me show you the bar method. The Singapore bar method, okay? And again, it's your choice whether you want to, whichever method you prefer. And I know from last week's session, you find division quite difficult, okay? So not to worry, not to worry. I'm going to quickly, before we finish off, I'm going to show you how you can use the bar method.
Sure.
Okay, so, right, so 100% is going to be the 3,206 turns of the helicopter blades, okay? Now, so basically that would be the whole total, okay? And then there are 7 minutes, okay? So there are 7 minutes that have to be taken into account, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, my drawing is not very good, but you know what I'm trying to say. So basically you got 7 minutes there. So 7 minutes gives you 3,206. And what you want to do is you want to find out what is the value of 1, okay?
Okay.
Quite simply. So for example, you then do the division, okay? 3,206 divide by 7 to give you the value of 1 part is 458. So then you would write 458. And if you were to do this on every single one, and then you added them all together, you will then end up with 3,206.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, can you see that?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
All right then. Now again, right then. So I'm going to now. We're going to finish off and just do a very quick review.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Right. So in today's session, we've covered 7 questions from the AQA GCSE Mathematics Foundation paper, paper 1, non-calculator.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been able to work with negative numbers, do basic sums with negative numbers. We've been able to find the difference between mean, median, mode, and range. We've also been able to do some subtraction with decimals. We've also been able to understand the difference between chord, arc, radius, and circumference. And I showed you a diagram which clearly showed that the circumference is longer than the diameter. The chord is a segment, is the line that creates a small segment in the circle, okay? We worked out 83 multiplied by 26 using the column method, but I also showed you the grid method and the lattice method for you to choose as well. We did a little problem solving here in terms of working out the cost of 5 calendars when they're giving you the cost of 3. We used basic division, but we also used the Singapore bar method, bar modeling to help us. And we also used long division, bus shelter method is also called short division. So we used short division, long division, and the bar modeling method to get the answer of 458. Okay? Now, for your homework, what I want you to do is I want you to do question 8, 9, and 10.
Okay.
Okay? I want you to do 8, 9, and 10. And so you've got 3 questions there. Now, what I want you to do is exactly how I've showed you. If
Okay.
you get stuck with
Yes.
some of the information, go to Google, try to do a Google search, look on a website, look at an image, or go to YouTube. Try to find some information that will help you to understand and unlock the question. Okay? And then what I'm going to ask you to do as well is I'm going to ask you to basically show me the workings.
Okay.
And I think what I might do for you, what I think will be really helpful for you is a bit later on, I mean, you can work on this now, okay? Because basically the question paper is actually on the Padlet, okay? So you can work on 8, 9, and 10. However, what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to send you a Jamboard, a Google Jamboard. Remember we used it last week to find out what your issues were with maths.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste the 3 questions on 3 Jamboards. They're basically like flip charts. And then I'm going to ask you to use the Post-its for you to explain to me your methods for working out the answer.
Okay.
All right? And what I will do is I'll give you an example on the Jamboard with one of the previous questions that we looked at. Okay? Because Jamboard is quite good for solving mathematical problems. It allows you a bit more time to work it out. Okay? However, what I'll also do is I'll also put on the step-by-step method for you. If you get stuck with the method to get to the solution, then maybe the step-by-step method may help you. It's basically a graphic organizer. It's a frame to help students to organize their thoughts and ideas.
Okay.
To help them arrive to the solution.
Okay.
Okay, then, Jambook. So how did you find today's lesson?
I enjoyed it. You know, I wanted to go for a paper review to see how, you know, how it will help me. I think it helped me in a very positive way today, especially with the division.
Yeah, exactly. Now, obviously, with the consent of your father, he said that it was okay for me to record our session. So the session will also be on video. So you can watch it again and your father can watch it again. But I will be sending you some information on a Jamboard that I want you then to try to work with and try to work through each question. Okay? And look, don't worry if you get stuck. I'd rather you get stuck and then come back to me and said, Sunil, I struggle with this part, because we need to find out which part of the you know, which part of the sequence did you fall down on? Which part of the sequence did you misunderstand or misrepresented that led you to a different path? Now, with GCSE, it's very, very strict. You know, normally if you make one little calculation error in a problem solving, it could end up with the wrong answer. And they may not give you any marks for any attempts to try to get it correct. But with functional skills, they allow a little bit more room for students to show some use of calculation, even though the final answer is wrong. But GCSE is tough. And we've got to work on your accuracy skills so then you don't make a mistake in one of the earlier steps. And I think one thing that we realized with question, I think it was 6, that you misinterpreted the information given in the question. And that's what led you to the wrong answer. However, your method for dividing was fine. Okay? But we still need to work on dividing. You must learn your times table off by heart. Okay? So what I will do is I will send you a nice colorful multiplication grid, and you must learn that off by heart. You must know off by heart how many 9s in 63, how many 7s in 49, how many 10s in 110. Okay? So you've got to be able to, so that's one of your homeworks, is also to be able to memorize the multiplication grid, and then I'm going to ask you some random questions next week. I'll say, right, Jamberg, what's 3 times 9? What's 11 times 4? What's 12 times 12? And you need to instantly give me the answers. Okay? And then I'm going to ask you questions like, well, how many 7s in 70? How many 8s in 64? Okay? And then you've got to give me the answer. So you have to work like with the whole grid.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm going to do a Jamboard to help you to break down those 3 questions. I'm going to send you the graphic organizer, which is a step-by-step one to help you so you don't make any, interim calculation errors. And I'll also send you a multiplication grid for you to be able to then to do that. Okay, then, my friend. How's that then? Is that okay?
Great. Thank you. Great.
Thank you very much indeed. So I will then see you next Saturday. And I know your father gave his apologies. He had another meeting to attend. However, we will meet again next Saturday. And then I would like you to get this work done at the latest by Wednesday, please. Okay.
I'll get it done by then.
No excuses. You've got to get it done by Wednesday. You've got to be able to find the time. But if I don't send you my information by today, I'll definitely by tomorrow. Okay? So definitely by tomorrow, I'll send you the information. If not, I might send it a bit later on today. And then you can then start, but then start working on it now. You've got the paper on the Padlet. Start working on it. Okay? And please don't look at the mark scheme.
Oh, no.
I've put the mark scheme there. I put the link in there, but we will look at it next week. But don't open the mark scheme link. Just try. I want to learn about your, what's happening in your brain when you get those questions and how you are reacting to it, and then how you are then, finding a way forward. Okay, Jamberg, any questions when we finish?
That's okay with me right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.